if anyone is trying to watch us right now, do not watch us. Just
We are prepping. Please wait for a minute.
yeah, it's loading. The cool information is loading. So whereas, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's go to the account and let me share the tweet here. You can retweet this. I think
Yes.
I'll probably quote tweet it. Hey, we are live. Come, I'll learn how to build cool stuff on Monad using Avail. Done. All right. Also sharing this in some of the chats. Usually people start flowing in around like half an hour mark, which is very not so surprising for me. But yeah, let's still do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's actually start this stuff. Maybe just 30 more seconds so that people see the freaking tweet.
Yes.
Just some waiting. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. By the way, Monet Dogs got a new look. Have you seen it? We
I have
have
not.
moved over from Tokusaras.
I have not. Can you show me? Or should I open the screen share?
Oh, sorry. Could you repeat that question?
I'm saying like I did not see the docs. Do you want me to screen share and show so everyone can see?
No, 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 no. I just wanted to ask you,
No.
what docs from framework does
Hmm.
Avail use? Let me see. What's this? Which framework is this? Let me check.
Is this Mintlify?
Oh, is it Mintify?
It looks like it should be.
We have migrated to Mintify as well. I hope we did it correctly. Looks like Mintify is the most popular docs framework out there currently for.
Mintlify is great.
Yeah,
Like I love their AI. I love how easy it is to set up and manage. It's just
it looks
really,
pretty. It
yeah.
looks pretty. Well, we had like Dokusaurus. It looked great in a sense because it was like very medical, surgical kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
But Midlify looks a lot more approachable, a lot more uh, cute,
Yeah.
I would say. So
I,
yeah, so yeah, about enough about Monet Dogs. So um, you're probably here to learn. If you're watching this, you're probably here to learn about Avail and how to use it on Monet. So today, to explain this, I have someone amazing. His name is Abek, and he's gonna be telling us all about Avail today. So, very nice to meet you, Abek, today. And could you please give a little intro and also a little bit about your background, please?
yes, surely. Thanks for the introduction. My my name is Abhik. I work as a explorations engineer for Avail. So that's basically whatever Prabal wants me to do, I do it. Um, for my background, I think like in general, I've been into computers since I was a little kid. Like I remember overclocking CPUs on my dad's old laptop just so I could play like Battlefield 3 at the time. Um, I was a very super duper fintech fan in my early college days, and then I found crypto, and I've been hooked ever since. So that's it. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. I also like played around with technology a lot, but didn't take like I didn't like be. a actual software person before I was 25. So it took a little while for me to load and get ready to get into code. Yeah,
Hmm.
all right. So what are you going to be talking about today?
Actually, let me just get into it. So today, uh, dear devs, as who am I addressing to, and you put, I'm gonna talk about how Monad devs can stop losing users on the apps they make, and why do they lose them, and what they can do about it. So, shall we just begin?
Yes, sir. Let's go. By
Go.
the way, is it
Hmm.
okay if I ask any questions during the presentation, maybe like interrupting you?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a conversation. Like I love it when it's a conversation.
Oh, yeah. Then I'll ask you some questions. All right.
GG's.
Take it away.
Yes. So before we sort of talk about the problem, the solution, and everything, right? I want to set up some context. So when I was presenting, like preparing for this presentation, I wanted to see what sort of app exists on Monad, and this particular one called Kinsu caught my eye. Liquid staking, wanted to try it out, but to my surprise, I did not have any Mon at the time. So I was like, what's next? I had my funds on Base, Arbitrum, and other sources at the time. And then I had to go to a bridge. I had to select a token, chain, check if I had enough balance, I had to approve funds, then come back to Kinso, check gas, and then finally come back to Kinso to do the transaction I wanted to do in the first place. But that's just messed up, right? Like imagine this me like saying I am a crypto native user and I face this problem a lot. And what I usually do is I just bookmark it and never come back again. User retention just drops off the chart. So this is one of the core problems I think we address with Avail. But that's not all, right? Your app suffers more as well. Um Imagine like you're launching on day one on Monad with like 330 million of liquidity that you can tap into, but liquidity fragmentation is a big thing. Your audience, your user base could be the one having 183 billion of liquidity, right? But it's not. So how do we fix that? How do we expand? There are two major choices. Either you deploy to more chains, you force your devs to maintain the infra across many chains and deploy and maintain instead of working the app that you're actually wanting to build. Or you integrate other sort of bridging products that give you the flow. Like Aave has a swap button on the top of the header, but it feels like a separate flow altogether in the app. The only difference is I don't have to change URLs. That's it. So that's sort of where we come in. With Avail Nexus, the moat is very, very simple. The app gets the liquidity no matter where it's coming from. Like the user just should have funds on chain. That's all we care about. And the app should tell us, hey, I want USDC on Monad. That's all. Now, how does the user go from there to Mon? It should be automatically handled, and that's what we do. We have, I think, 14, 15 plus chain support on EVM as of now, expanding as I speak. One of the better features is that we have N to 1 liquidity provision. So basically, imagine having to combine your USDC across Arbitrum Optimism all at once to directly do an action on a DApp on Monad. You don't have to sign multiple intents. You don't have to bridge multiple times. It's just seamless one intent. That brings me to the next point. It just seamlessly integrates with your app UX. It does not feel like a separate flow at all. But enough talk. Let's see like an experience on a Monad integrated DApp.
Here's a quick demo of Nexus on Clobber, Monad's fast on-chain clob. I launch the app and I connect my wallet first. Once I'm in, it says that I have zero balance on Monad chain to make this trade. I will need to bridge funds to Monad to get started, but here's a magic switch called Unified Balance. Once I switch over, Avail Nexus kicks in and it shows me my total spendable balance. It tells me that I can spend all of these funds to make this particular trade. Let me try with 18 USDC. It tells me that I can spend 18 USDC from all these chains and complete this swap. I hit approve and Nexus comes into play. A few clicks later, the funds are now supplied to my Monad chain, and I'm able to make this swap on Clover. That's how simple it is for users to use a Liquid app.
So I mean, like it should be this simple, right? Like if Kinsu had this, I would have directly deposited instead of bookmarking it and coming back at later. That's sort of how we want to see dApps become. How do you get started? The above example that you see uses the Nexus SDK. It's basically core functions like bridge, and execute that you could directly integrate with your own UI and own custom CSS. Or you can try something called as UI elements. Now, these are pre-built React components which give you all the bridging flows as just like a three-liner widget, as simple as this. So this is like a deposit widget to Aave, where you just integrate in 3 lines. The user comes, selects whatever chains and money they have on what chain, and it just directly does the action, whatever it is. And that's how easy it should be. And then we have also the API for all the AI agent nerds who want the API integration sort of supports, but that's for later. How do you get started right now? You can just use these two skills and ask Claude to make an app, and that's how easy it is. I'm gonna be demoing this as well later. Uh, but yeah, now if you wanna try something out right now, we have the Monad Fast Bridge. This is a bridge interface that we built. You can wait. Let me try to see if I can share another screen. All right. This is the fast bridge. I connected my wallet, and it fetches my balance across all of these chains. So I don't have to worry about like having chain funds on one particular chain. I can just pick all of them at once. I can also deselect. Like let's say I want to save my Polygon POS funds for any specific purpose, right? So I can just deselect it. Like this is the max amount, so of course that is out. But let's say I do two, can deselect it, and it's all fine. And I should be able to directly bridge this to Monad. And it's done. 1 second, let me share the Explorer screen. You can see 2 USDC reached Monad. Now let's go back to the PPT. All right. Second. Yep. And that's basically it.
Sorry, that's really cute. Can you go back to the one at fast bridge slide, like one slide back? That's a cute Molan, like I like it.
Yeah. You have to thank Anish for that, our designer. He's great.
Oh yeah, shout out to Anish for the amazing design. All right, so how like does this have like does Avail have a skill file that we can feed into AI?
Yes. So it's basically you just have to do npx skills add avail project / nexus SDK. Like it will automatically install the skills, and you could directly use it.
Then when I say use Avail, or when I ask AI to do something that might require Avail, it automatically uses it, right? It automatically loads the skill.
Yes. So what I'll do right now is let me share my terminal and let's build a fast bridge together. Like this same component, this same app.
Oh
Where is
yeah,
it?
that would be awesome.
Let's just
Let's
do
do
it.
that.
Let's just build it.
Yeah, it's the best way to learn something is to build it. And if like I have one ask from you. So could you please go a bit slower than your usual so that people watching might follow you? Like if they want to follow you, they should be able to. So just go a little bit slower than usual so that maybe I can even follow you. Actually, let me follow you.
So, all right, I think you all should see my terminal now.
Yep. Maybe I can move your name around. Oh yeah. Let me hide this. Yeah, I can see it. Can you make the text just a little bit bigger?
Is this better?
I think yes. For my eyes, like for my old eyes, it's good.
Let's
All
check
right.
the chat if people are able to see this clearly. Otherwise, I'll start.
Yeah, just write into the chat box if you can't see this. Let me check the actual stream chat. All right, should be fine.
GG.
No questions, no
Oh,
complaint. By the way, sorry. Is this warp? Yes, it is warp, right?
yes, it's what.
Another question: do you like warp? Why are you using warp? And should we also use warp?
I mean, like, so I also take care of a lot of deployment sort of stuff, right? And with Warp, AI is just like, be it a Kubernetes config or like any Docker deployment that's just not working, it will automatically debug for me. So the Warp AI is great for all that stuff. So like how my setup is that I have a wide screen monitor and I have like my Mac right here. So I have the editor open in the Mac screen. I have Warp on the right side of my split screen monitor, wide screen monitor. So all the code, the Claude code stuff goes there, browser goes there, and the editor goes here. So I think this works like perfectly well for me as a setup. That's why I use Warp a lot. I've been using it for like, I think more than 3 years now. Before it did not have any AI or anything like that. So yeah, I just love it. Like I just love the aesthetic of it and the AI features like around cherry on top.
So I have another question here. How is it really different than cloud?
Uh, so like Claude, I use on Warp. I am just saying that let's say I ran out of the daily limit for Claude, for example, right? Warp gives me like a free version. So like whenever that sort of stuff happens, I just use the Warp AI. But without like before, I was using Claude Code and I was using like Windsurf back in the day. I
Mhm.
think Warp's AI helped me a lot to sort of tackle all the deployment issues because it has access to the terminal. It can just do it right away.
Uh,
So when I have to code something as in a like proper writing code for a backend or a front end, I use Cloud Code. But it's just if it's like small debugging on why this deployment is not working, or check fetch me health endpoint for something, I just use the Warp AI.
do you know which model it is using?
I am not sure. It's all it's not even updated at this point. But yeah,
No.
like since I went like I got Claude Max. I think life has been much better.
Same.
People
Yeah.
using emails. So yeah.
All right. All right. Sorry about the questions. Please take it away.
Yes. Awesome. I think let's go. Let's start by adding up both of these skills. So I'll just select them all. I added for Cloud Code because that's what I need right now. And the second skill is for elements, which are the React components that we were talking about earlier. So I'm gonna select them. And it's done. Time to fire up Claude. Hi, please make me a fast bridge element, fast bridge widget type next JS app that uses Avail Nexus elements to bridge funds to USDC monad. Should use the fast bridge widget. Uh, you should be able to fetch context from the Avail Nexus skills already installed. Make no mistake. Now it should basically figure out that we have installed two element skills. It did. And it will make me a Next.js app, which essentially has the FastBridge component, which I just showed you on the Monad FastBridge side. It's like as simple as that. Until this sort of is building, I wouldn't want to show you the element side as well. For that, let me just change my screen share to this. So this is our elements docs. If you've used Shadcn, how basically you just add a button to your front end. It's as simple to add like a deposit or a bridge widget to your front ends. We have a bunch of components. This is the deposit component that is that I showed in the video. Then this is something that we are currently using to build, and we'll directly have like this component built through one-shotted Claude if it does not make any mistake, as I specifically asked it to not do. But yeah, that's basically it. Let's see what happened to my Claude.
Bruh.
By the way, that sound is my Claude.
No way.
Whenever it finishes, so I've set a custom hook. It just spukes out bruh whenever it's completed or it needs my help.
Yeah, I think I have that too, but it's like beep beep, not like brah, but beep beep. I think that's like less scary. Like one question, are you using a specific HUD for cloud? Is that cloud dash HUD or something similar? Because I think your cloud looks different than mine.
No, it's I think it's the default one. There is no extra fluff
I
on top.
I don't think I have that bar on the bottom, the green bar that you have. So that might be something different.
This bar,
Yeah.
interesting. Like I think I've always had it like since months.
No.
Um, yeah, this
All
like I've
right.
not noticed any session on any terminal without this bar.
No way. Uh, what's GSD on the bottom? Can you type it out? I think you have a plugin.
GSD, I think, is a get stuff done. That is the plugin. That's just giving me like a update command because it's out of date, but I don't really use the plugin anymore. So I just
Oh
fuck it.
yeah, I think that's the plugin. That's not like Vanilla Cloud.
This no, I don't think GSD is the reason I have this. Maybe
Let's
it is.
uninstall GST and see. Well, after this, if you have like 5 minutes,
Yeah, yeah,
if
that's what
there's
I'll do.
time.
I'll ping you later if that's if it
Yeah.
is the reason for this bar to be there. But yes, so what do you think about like in general the apps that are being built on Monad? Have you sort of faced these problems yourself? What do you think about?
Yeah,
Um,
I think
yeah.
it would be awesome to get every info provider or like similar stuff on one ad, publish a skill file so that when we are doing events, like when we're doing hackathons, they
Hmm.
should be able to grab those skill files and feed them into their own agents and let them wipe. Like right now, your agent is basically wiping, and we should be letting random people wipe as well. So just like a whale having that skill file, like if anyone wants asks me about a whale this weekend in Izmir, we are hosting a bullets event in Izmir, by the way,
Oh,
Saturday. So if anyone wants to use a whale, I know that a whale has a skill file, and I know that it's so easy to use a whale. So I'll just point them to that skill file. They'll like paste it into their agents, and boom, that's pretty much it.
exactly.
So
Like that is the goal. Like that is all I wanted to hear.
So I think
Uh,
that's what matters. Everything, like every app on Monad, coming back to your original question. So every app on Monad, every infra provider on Monad, or every tool that supports Monad should have a skill file for people to have an easier life. Because when you have a skill file, then you can just feed it to your agent instead of going to docs and reading the freaking docs. Like it's like 2026, no one reads docs anymore. It's all skill files, and it is for a reason. The skill files, the agentic stuff, it's very easy to use, and it's like almost magic. Look at your computer, for example. Like it's setting up WAGMI config, and next it's gonna wire Nexus provider and SDK in it on Wallet Connect. It's gonna do a bunch of other magical stuff, and in the end, you will have an app that works on Monad that also uses a whale. So I think this is almost like magic, and everyone should be able to do this because if Avail provides this, and if you can build an app with Avail in like 7 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know, 4 minutes, and if you are a competitor for Avail or any other similar tool, and you don't provide a skill file, then you're doomed because people will say like, "Hey, Avail has this. Why don't you like do this as well?" And this is why I'm big for skill files. I crave the skill files. I love my Claude, and my Claude is my like best friend these days. Don't tell this to my wife. All right. So sorry about rambling so much here, but um, if you're like the devs watching us right now, they probably you probably let me address directly to the devs. So you probably want to hit big in crypto, or that you want to satisfy yourself. You want to create a good app, a good Web3 app, whether it be DeFi or anything else. You should have a skill file. You should let the agent use your thing. So when you're building out stuff, think about how you can make it easier for an agent to interact with your thing as well. So there are two types of customers, or like two types of uh, persons, or like things that are at the end of the thing, or let's just call them customers. And those customers could be human, or they can be agents. By agents, they can also be bots, right? You can also profit off of bots as well as humans. So try to aim for both. I can come to your protocol and click the buttons in your front end, but I should also be able to hit your APIs or like use your contract directly on chain. So I just want to add a little reminder here. Verify your freaking contracts on some good explorers like Monad Vision, Social Scan, and Monad Scan, so that people know, or like bots know, what functions your contract has. Anyways, let's go back. It's been 7 minutes, 28, 29, 30 seconds, and 4.6K tokens spent. And we are almost at the last step. So what are we gonna see? Are we gonna see a built app, like ready to use app? How is the skill constructed? Can we see the actual skill content, by the way?
so actually, I should first show you what we're gonna see.
Oh yeah,
What the
please
skill is
take it away.
doing, essentially, we have this entire widget and all of these files, and it gives us this, which is exactly what we saw in the Monad Fastbridge site. Let me show you. Mm. So exactly what we saw here, this component, this component in itself is using what we have built here, which is like the plug and play skill I'm showing, and plug and play widget that I'm showing. And the skill essentially just takes this widget's code, fixes any build or any error that comes when, like, let's say you want to build on a specific framework or whatever, right? And it just gives you this component where you could directly bridge your funds to Monad, see all the good meaty things of Avail, like unified balances, end-to-one liquidity provision, so spending your balances as one, and it just works.
Bruh.
And I think it did finish after 9 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Monad bridge. We'll go pm dev, and I hope this works, or the demo curve strikes again. One second, let me share my screen. And we have this. So let me share my entire window. That would be better. And we have this built app, as we saw in the Fastbit site. So once you sort of have this, you know, starter template, it's much easier for you to uh, think about how you're going to build the rest of the app, because you're not just worried about any of the bridging infrastructure or anything needed. Like, it's as simple as this. So I deeply want everyone here to go try out our skills, give us feedbacks, and go to the docs. That's it.
All right, all right. Thank you. That was really clean. So about your AI tool use, I have some more questions if you'd like to take them.
Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
Yeah, so you're using Cloud Code plus Warp to build like cool stuff for Avail. So could you please show us your AI stack if you can, of course, if you have some stuff handy.
So I think, like, the way I leverage AI is very naive, I'd say, because all I do is I have my Claude code. I have this skill called Get Shit Done, which I used to use, but now I don't. I just, like, I make sure that I write what I want properly, give it an initial plan to Claude Code, ask it to plan for me. On every command, I mostly write down, ask me any questions if you have, and it just pretty much does the job for me well enough. Uh, I used to do like init Claude MD init files as well, but then there was this video by this YouTuber called Theo, uh, where if you have a lot of docs and Claude MD files, but you're not updating them, it's actually harming your context and rather than helping it. And that's why I sort of stopped using it. And to be honest, I think that it's much better if you just specify what you want rather than flooding context from everywhere. It just works. Like, that's all I do.
All right. So another question. Um, what's your favorite AI tool?
I actually have one for design. So, like, of course,
Mhm.
for coding, I use Claude Code. But there's this one AI called Variant, if you've
Oh
seen.
yeah. So I use a variant in one way. I think everyone uses it in a different way. So could you please show us how you exactly use it? Because the question I have right now is I go there and I describe the app in a way, but how does another person do it? So if you have like 5 minutes, could you please share a screen with variant.com and imagine that you are building a DeFi app on Monad or anything like any example that you have in mind. And can you please go through the steps, uh, literally designing the app with variance help?
All right. I think if you can see my screen, like, just to try out, I prompted it was design me a crypto wallet.
That's so
That's it.
good.
And it gave me this. Like, I was so happy. I mean, of course, the UX sucks for most of these. The design is flawless. All right. So let's try prompting. I want to build a DeFi. Um, Let me try to fetch the Monad brand kit. because I wanted to be on brand with the Monad chain, just for vibes, just to see how it can do it. I just give it the link.
Hmm. Do you also find variant be a little bit slower than what it should be at times? Because it's sometimes just lows and lows for me. Maybe it's because of my internet connection.
No, I don't think it's the internet. I think in general, I found variant to be like, at least when I use Claude Code, it's very fast. Right? Seconds. Sometimes this takes minutes, and which is fair considering like it's harder to do proper designs rather than editing code, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What I do is just to give you um, like a way into my mind on how am I thinking about this is that I would first give it a very brief summary that I want a DeFi Vault app. Then I would basically summarize all the flows, on how it should be, and then edge cases. Like, let's say, basically what you do is, the user should be able to come to the app. There should be a landing screen. I should see some analytics and numbers on returns. I should see some text on research, and then there should be this huge CTA which tells me to go to the app. I go to the app, I see vaults based on cards with APYs very clearly written and some context. There should be a deposit button, and I click on it. It opens up a modal. Um, Through that modal, I add, of course, the information I wanted to add, and then that's how sort of I proceed further. So when I do this sort of helps me with like since I have the flows in my mind, all I'm looking for is a good visual identity, which is mostly what I use it for. So like I've done UX for I think a year or two before I jumped into tech completely. So like I spec out the flows myself, and then I just give the prompt to whatever AI, like where in this case to get the visual identity.
Mm.
That's basically it. I
So
would want to know it, but I'm sure it'll take a huge amount of time to just run it.
to sum it up, you kind of use variant to give the app an initial look, then you
Yeah.
expand it. So it's kind of your uh, design kit helper instead of something that you use to design the whole freaking website.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Oh,
we can do landing pages, but I don't think flows. Like you need to think about them very clearly because there are very subtle drops that you can see when AI designs the entire UX flow for you, which I would like to prevent. That's why I properly spec the flows myself, get the visual identity from variant, and then put it to Figma and then finish the flows. That's how I sort of do it.
so let's move on to some hotter topics. So, what's an idea that can get you in trouble about AI? So, what's your hottest take? What's your spiciest take on AI?
This is a hard question I need to think about. Mm, I mean, it's great that AI has made the life of everyone easier, and like I'll have a lot of secure, like a lot of security enthusiasts supporting me on this, but I think it's shit for security. Like the current AI ecosystems are like very, very vulnerable. Um, so I'd just be very, very careful that if like you should properly sandbox if you're running some uh, serious stuff. Like to build apps like this and all that, that's great, right? It's great to do it, but if you are working on protocols, if you are working on contracts, all the stuff that actually matters to the extent that it could make people lose a shit ton of money, I'd be very, very careful in leveraging AI for that.
So, about security, what do you think could go wrong when using AI?
I mean, a lot of things, right? Like keys, of course, being one very major thing. If you're not careful with it, a lot of people lose their keys. They sort of go in the prompt or whatever, right? Those sort of stuff, to be very basic. Then there is a lot more as well. But yeah.
So, like, I also agree here. You can leak a lot of stuff to AI, and that's in itself a big security problem. Do you think that these problems, these potential security problems, could ever be fixed? And like, do you do anything to not fall into those holes or gaps in that security problem?
Can you repeat the second part of the question?
So, do you have um any like practices to evade those security implications?
I mean, I first do not never. I have never used skip permissions dangerously. Um, Even though, yeah, never. Like even though I have like set up multiple hooks, notifications, whatever, right? But I'd never use that because like then I have zero control on what's happening.
Wow,
Uh,
I love it. I love dangerously bypass permissions. I also have an alias for it. I don't type it every time. My
oh,
alias is like C code. So if I write C code, it automatically runs dangerously bypass permissions. So I don't have to write that every time. And I only use Claude with that on. I never turn it off.
very different approaches we both take.
Yeah, I just YOLO it because one life, I think it's worth to dangerously skip permissions.
Yeah. So that's, I think that's one. Then in general, like wherever, like what folders have like keys and stuff that is very important to me or like to my company, I mostly try not to run Claude in those. Uh, just for like I can of course try prevention solutions, but just don't want to risk it. So yeah, like I follow that mostly on dev projects. I have containers separately, um, with just dev environment key. So that's all fine and good. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's. But what do you think about, like how do you plan on sort of, like what is your take on these security flaws that the current models have?
So great question. I have some takes. I have some. We have some great security engineers here at Monet Foundation. Shout out to them. So as per the request, we or like as per the like recommended uses, I think it makes sense to use a virtual machine when you code and when you run AI, because when you're running AI, you're kind of giving it access to your computer, and this might be problematic at times. And to give you an example, if you're working with Claude or a similar agent on your computer, you never know what it has access to. Even if you give it permission to not see everything, or even if you give it like lacking permissions, it could still, in a way, with a security bug, reach your files or reach sensitive information. You have to sandbox it effectively.
Hmm.
Cloud Code has a sandbox feature, but we are not really sure, and we should not take the risk of it being uh, not as hardened as we think it is. So I think the best possible approach here is to use a remote machine. And one of the best ways to do that is to use GitHub code spaces. I
Yeah.
personally use GitHub code spaces for a long while because they are very easy to set up, and you can like have a little script that gets your workplace set up when you start any GitHub code spaces. And
Hmm.
if you want to go a little bit further in terms of like employing some advanced way of having a temporary machine, you can try EC2 instances on AWS. They are slightly more complex than GitHub code spaces, and they offer a lot more than a code spaces instance can, and they don't cost a lot. So I think with a free account, you can still use them often. So those are two things that I could list. And one other thing that's kind of becoming more popular these days is to have a separate machine. So people bought lots of Mac Minis and stuff for running OpenClaw, and it's proving a little bit uh, unnecessary right now, if that makes sense. Like it's the hype is over.
So,
So I
so
think, yeah,
sorry to stop you, but I actually never went and gave into the hype. I tried something called as Poke, and I absolutely love that shit. So Poke, have you heard of it? It's by the Interaction company. All right, I'll tell you about it. So Poke is an AI that basically you talk to through iMessage or Telegram, whatever, right? And it's like your personal assistant. So, um, proper personal assistant. Like I have it manage my diet, my workout. Every Sunday, I have it give me like a Excel sheet of did I track my meals, what workout I did each day, did I finish my reading and everything, and it just does it greatly. Like it's the exact same way that I would set up OpenClaw, but I don't have to do enough effort to set it up. It's just like a very open chatbot that I can use. Previously, I think they've removed it, but the best part was getting its subscription. So essentially, to fixate on a price for the subscription, you actually haggle with the AI itself instead of it being a fixed subscription model. So to convince the AI to give you a discount. So like for
damn.
me, it was like it was charging I think $150 first. Then I spent like a good 2 hours to convince it to get it to drop to $15. And I think that conversation for me is like I loved haggling with an AI. Like, and then I used Poke. It had all the great features, so I never really gave into the OpenClaw hype. Poke just worked for me right out of the box.
Interesting. That's something that I should definitely check out.
You should. Actually,
Yeah,
I'll send you the link for you to try
yeah,
out. It's,
sure,
I think,
sure.
.com.
To continue my rambling from before, like people have unused devices now, now that
Mm.
the OpenClaw hype has like died a little bit. So what's a great security practice is to set up that device without any credentials and without any personal info, and have it as a device on your local network so that you can
Mm.
SSH into it and use that as a coding machine. That way, you have a device that you have physical access to on your local network and sandbox enough so that you can keep your work laptop or like personal
Mm.
laptop safe. You're basically separating the machine, the motherboard, the CPU, and everything else. So I think those three, GitHub code spaces, EC2 instances, and leftover machines, are great ways to solve that security problem. So that's my take on it. But if I had, like, I have a personal machine and an old laptop that's just sitting back there. I have Ubuntu on it, and I'm running cloud code on it with dangerously bypass permissions, and I don't care about security a lot because what's the worst that could happen? I don't have personal information. I'm not a very internet person. I'm not a social media person, so I don't exist on the internet as,
Matches with your unknown personality.
yeah, I don't have a online personality. Like I don't have myself, like my real world self on the internet. So like what's the worst that could happen? The worst thing that could happen is that I lose some crypto, and I don't hold crypto. So yeah, I basically have nothing to lose. But still, when I do work, I use EC2 instances and other devices. Like, yeah, like if I wish I could like show you this, but I have a Raspberry Pi over there, but you can't see it. It's over there. So that Raspberry Pi is my little power machine. It's doing a bunch of work for me. It also has a Twitter account. Let me show you. Give me a second. So here is my little buddy. Let me share my screen
Yes.
to show my little buddy. Oh yeah, he's called Multilad. It's one of my best friends, and it's an OpenClaw instance running on a Raspberry Pi, and it helps me do a bunch of stuff like read who is posting about Monad on X, who is doing some cool experiments on Monad, and also test out some apps. So when someone builds an app, I tell them to like make the app AI friendly. Like I told you before, right? I told you that, or I kind of suggested people to include a skill file on their websites. And the best way to check if a skill file actually works is to message this guy. This guy is crazy because he's an OpenGlow agent. He can just go there, test the skill file, and see how it works and how it does not work, and like it literally benchmarks it and gives me feedback so that I can send it to the person. I sometimes ask this little guy to reply to posts as well. So let's see what it's doing. No way. He's farming net posts. Terrible. Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Let's come into wipe check. Who's building something cool? Drop your project. Always down to learn about what people are shipping. Oh, nice. Oh
The
yeah.
AI
Nice.
learning.
So I was building this. I don't know if it's back up yet. I was migrating it. Oh no, it's deployment post. But let me miplant.com. I think this should be live. So I'm gonna share it. Hey, I recently built this. Do you like it? And then I'll drop the link. Does this have an OG image? No, terrible. I should build an OG image. So let's ask, should I add an OG image for this website? So this is what I do. It's helping me tweet. It's helping me. Oh yeah, it also reposted this cool tweet by me. And yeah, look at this. He's RT guying, if that's even a word. Kioni. Nice. Oh yeah.
GG. I think this is great.
This guy's an airdrop farmer. Look at the tweets. Nice. What the hell is this comment? This doesn't make sense. Just reply if you tried
Please
it.
do.
Yeah, try stuff. Dummy.
This is very cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's a little person that helps me. Oh yeah, it has 100 followers. It's amazing.
So I also know people that they basically what they do is that they have workflows set up, um, and they let it read the Slack, go through the Google Meets, and figure out exactly what sort of people need reaching out. Every morning, give people the list. Like the concerned person gets the list of things that they want to do. What are their agendas for today, and everything is managed perfectly. Like the entire hassle of figuring out what you need to do is just gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. AI agents like change almost everything, but they also have like security flaws. Like it's what matters is that it should be separate from your own personality. So if I'm using some work chats, if I'm doing some work, that should not be seen by the agent. The agent has another personality, and the agent has another Twitter, and also Multilat has a GitHub, it has an email, so it's completely separate from me, and it has its own machine as well. I think I'm gonna put it on a VPN so that it doesn't send stuff from my home network, so it's almost completely separate from me. which makes sense because it's a little lobster lurking the Monad ecosystem. And feel free to give it a follow or like reply to his stuff. I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be
Yes.
like you, and it will be a cool little interaction between you.
I'll send it the skills for it to test out.
Oh yeah, just maybe what we can do here. This is a great idea, by the way. So let's tweet out the skill file for using a whale, and ask Multilab to review it, and ask it to try it, and it's gonna try it and give you feedback. It might not be like 100% correct, but there might be some good takeaways from its feedback. So let's do that if you're okay with it as well.
I mean, I think it should automatically pick up from the npx command, right? Instead of, so I'll just post a tweet with the
Yeah.
npx commands and let it try out with the. Can you send me the @ for the bot?
Yeah. So just give me a second. So I sent it over Telegram chat in a second. Just tag it on Twitter. I think it should pick it up. It has a heartbeat of like several hours. It goes there, checks the post, checks the notifications, and then interacts with people, does any tasks if it's asked to, and so on.
1 second.
By the way, if any listeners have any questions, please shoot them right now. We have very little time until I have to let a big go. Uh, yeah, so that's it. And to wrap things up, um, I learned a lot about whale, and I learned about a lot about AI. I might have to give Warp a shot. Everyone's using it. I also need to check um, that replies and acts upon seeing your tweet. So thank you, Abik, for coming here today and joining me to talk about a whale and your AI takes and everything else. If you have any questions, if the listeners, you have any questions, feel free to tag me or Abik on Twitter. And that's almost it. Yeah. If anyone has any questions, just shoot them out, or else we'll be going and chilling. Going
All right,
once,
I think that's all.
going twice. Just 10 more seconds for the slow typers. All right. And yeah, I think that wraps it up. Thank you, Abek, again. And see you around. See you all around. I'll probably have more live streams starting next week. So keep an eye out on monet_dev Twitter account. And bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And